Good morning everyone, and welcome to today's Paint With Me video. I am back in my Etchr sketchbook this morning and using my Daniel Smith watercolor paints. Today I am going to be doing a sort of loose painting inspired by a little stone bridge that I saw while walking with my youngest daughter just yesterday morning. I thought it was really cute and pretty, and so I took a snapshot, and that is what we are going to be working off of today. I started off with a really loose sketch of just kind of the shape of the bridge, and I just wanted to place on the page where I wanted it to sit, and then there's going to be a tree next to it, so I did mark that as well. Just so I would know where that is going to be and where the bridge is going to end. I then mixed some indigo with my sepia, as I know from my mixing video the other day that they make a nice gray color, so that is what I used on the background, and again I watered it down quite a bit so that it was nice and light and I'd be able to also paint over it but also keep some color there and block out this bridge. So throughout the video, while I am painting these stones on this bridge, I am using a few different browns, and I did mix them all at different ratios at different points in time just to try to get a wide variation of color. So some of the ones that I'm using are sepia, burnt umber, raw sienna, brown ochre. I did mix in some indigo to get a little bit more gray colors. But yeah, so I'm using those throughout the video, but I am mixing them, like I said, at random, so I can't specifically say I'm using this color here and this color there. They're just very sporadic. My technique here is fairly simple. I am just making some rounded, ovally, random rock shapes, and I am trying to start with lighter colors. You can see I've already put some darker colors in, and that was when I was like, hey, I'm gonna start with lighter colors, this way I can paint the darker ones over it, whereas you can't paint lighter rocks over darker circles. So over the darker rocks. So I did continue on with painting the lighter ones first, again mixing up the colors, trying to get some variation, and I'm just kind of creating these rocks shapes, all different, trying to keep them very random as actual rocks are. Along the bottom they're going to be more of a oval shape because that is actually what they were. So I did try to stick with that, but otherwise I am just placing them within the arc that I had sketched in at first, and just again painting the lighter ones and then going back in and adding in darker ones. So what I also did was I started in one area, let it dry, would go to another area. You'll see soon I will be kind of putting one rock here, one rock there, and then going back. That's because I don't want all of them to just blend together. I want some defined shapes. So you have to let your color dry completely, and then you can add another shape next to it. This way they don't bleed into each other. I did also go in and add that tree to the right there, and I just tried to keep it very simple. Our trees don't quite have any leaves yet, so they are still pretty bare. But yeah, so I did add in that tree there, and then now I'm going in and adding in another tree that was sort of behind the bridge. Now that those rocks on that side have dried, I'm going to shape that out here and keep going. Okay, so I just added in some indigo and created a bit of a darker shade and created some shadows to just kind of define some of the rocks underneath the bridge and a little bit throughout it. And then here I just added a few rocks to the water line because that is water underneath there. And now I'm going in with that same gray mixture as before, but keeping it a bit darker. And I'm just creating some random pull. I'm just pulling the brush randomly and creating like a rippled effect in the water. And I started with my darkest color. This is where I wanted the shadows more to be in the water, so I tried to create the arc from the bridge and those trees a little bit there. And then I added in some more water to my mixture on my palette, and I did the very same thing but spread it out a bit wider. And then I added in a little bit more water and I did the same thing again. So I tried to give it this shadowy, reflective, but also the water it was a bit windy, so it was moving. So that's what I was going for. And now I am just adding a few more details to these trees. Again, nothing too crazy. I wanted to keep this very loose, but I just wanted to add a couple of shadows just to give them a little bit more dimension. And finally here I am just adding in a little silhouette of a duck who happened to be swimming by. There were so many there yesterday and my little one was so excited, so I definitely wanted to include him in here as well. But that is it for today's painting. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this loose, slightly less detailed style. I definitely enjoyed it and I had a lot of fun making it, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. And if you did, please feel free to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!